Let's now start up the conversation on the show this afternoon. And I have joining me virtually from Benin City, I have Jimmy Oko. Jimmy Oko is an economist and a lecturer with the Shaka Momodu Polytechnic. And he also doubles as, is he acting now or the full-blown rector of that same institution? Good afternoon, Jimmy. Good to have you join me.
Good afternoon, my brother. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Congratulations on your new position as director of that institution. We celebrate with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's start up with the conversation. On Tuesday, there was a change in there was a change in governance. We've seen Godwin Obaseki. He has done his bid for 8 years as the governor of Edo State with his own different kind of economic reforms, and he has gone. We have a new governor in Edo State. So we need to set some sort of standard economically beyond the political politicking and who gets what as the this, as the that in the state in terms of politics. Let's also set agenda in terms of economy for the state. Now, I will read out some of his inaugural speech while he was taking his oath of office. Then that will help us to shape in our conversation this afternoon. And number 5 says, it said the welfare of the citizens is top priority for us. To achieve this, we shall implement programs carefully outlined by the 5-point agenda designed to grow a robust economic growth and improve the lives of our people. They are security, infrastructure and road development, affordable healthcare, water and food sufficiency, and also value-driven education across the state. 7 says, for a long time now, our people have become victims of kidnapping and other violent crime. To end the ugly situation, we will be firm in dealing with criminals and improving security of our land, that is farming and other business activities, to flourish again. And he went further to also say that our policy to develop road infrastructure targeted at constructing roads, drainage and bridges to ease transportation for all. We shall immediately commence work to make more roads passable again. And number 10 here says we are also ready to partner with the federal government and the private sector, non-governmental organizations, those in diaspora and other stakeholders to develop our state across all sectors. And 11 says, my administration shall support small businesses and market women with soft loans. Then 12 did not take away the youth. He said our teeming youthful population will not be left out. We shall support them to acquire relevant skills for economic empowerment. So let's begin the conversation. He has said so much about economic. There is this mindset or there is this thought about a lot of persons that Edo State is a civil service state where you don't have industries, you don't have, business flourishing. So what could we really tell this new administration to focus on in order to boost the state economy economically? So as an economist that you are, I'm pretty sure you will have so much answers to give to us in this regard.
All right. Thank you very much, my dear brother. I think the first thing is to first say congratulations to the newly sworn governor of Edo State, His Excellency Senator Monday Gbewolo. Now, issue of economy. Thank you very much for bringing up a discussion like this. Yes, at this time, there is not doubt at all that we need to actually reshape the structure of our economy in the state, because we need to take care of our people. We need to reduce poverty. We need to ensure that there is job for people, for plenty of our youth who are roaming the streets. And I think what I would expect the the sworn governor, the new governor to do is to be very practical with this. Yes, many governments in Nigeria, whether federal, whether state, have all done their bits. But I think it is time to be quite more decisive. I think it is time to be much more pragmatic. I think it is more a time for us to actually approach the issues in a very practical manner. I think, one of the issues like you mentioned, issues of job creation, when so many governments have relied on the method of trying to attract investors to the state, trying to encourage local investors. That is fine. But I think what is happening in recent time is telling us that the government itself needs to be at the forefront of practical job creation. I think government should be at the very front of showing examples to people how to create industries, how to make factories, how to create businesses. In those states, we have vast land everywhere, which surround those south, those central, those north. You have vast land everywhere that is still so much unused. I think it is time for the government to take the leadership role in terms of practical job creation, practical establishment of businesses, practical establishment of factories and industries as the case may be. For now, I think you mentioned this, he mentioned the issue of food sufficiency as
Yeah.
part of his agenda. I think as part of that, if the government is able to actually approach job creation in a very practical manner, it will not only produce job for people, it will also help us to boost food security. For instance, we understand that our agricultural sector has been down for so long. And everybody doesn't want to concentrate in agriculture anymore. Even governments want to open their eyes towards oil revenue. That has been the issue of Nigeria. I will be very happy if the new governor of Edo State is able to mobilize resources, mobilize the people, as citizens, into aggressive agriculture, aggressive farming in this regard. When I mean aggressive farming, or when I mean the government taking leadership role, when I mean the government showing example, I mean that the government can go into this land, clear all of them, take the bulldozers, everything, because the government has resources under their control to do so. Individual may not be able to do that because of the cost that is involved. I think the government should enter this land, open them up, even if it is cassava farming, let the government do so. It is not a crime if the government decides to do government own farm everywhere, all the parts of Edo State, let government have their own farm. Then, if they are farm of cash crop now, you can now say after the government has done the foundation stage, you can now start giving them to citizens to. By that time, it's going to start attracting investors, people who want to come into it and say, okay, I want to have a portion of this. But the government, first of all, needs to be at the forefront to attract people. The reason is because the capital to start with is not what an individual, private individual is able to cope with right now because of the unnecessary costs that we have to incur in the process of starting that whole thing. And two, when the government is taking the leadership role in this regard, there are so many things that are going to be avoided. So many things. So if the government is able to enter aggressive farming at the beginning, I would expect the governor may not say, "Oh, state government doing farm." The governor will be able to say, call all the 80 city local government chairmen together, have a meeting with them and say, "I want every local government area to have a farm. I want the local Eastern Northeast local government chairman to have a farm, cassava farm. The Owan East local government have this. The Ego local government have this. Let all the local government councils have farm. First of all, that will help to attract people because you know what our government have been doing over the years is actually talking to our citizens, telling people going to agriculture, going to farming. But the citizens do not want to actually go into it the way the government is expecting it. That is because the citizens sit back to think that what the government is actually trying to do is trying to just sit back in the place we call the monkey the work and go the job. Because most of the agricultural products, when they come from the farm, government, because of taxes, double taxations and all of that, and the cost, unbearable cost involved, which the government has paid to control over the years, will also scare these people away. So the government has the financial muscle to actually go into this. That will be the first the practical action that we expect from the governor. Let the governor do so. If all the 18 local government areas in those states have government farm, it will not be out of place. Let us have that. Then I want also expect that the issue of double taxation should, I think, I will also expect that the governor, being the person who has, having read out his whole agenda, and everybody expecting so much from him, I expect that the governor should be able to also look into the issue of double taxation that is ravaging economic transaction, economic activities in the state, because charges here and there, when if you look at these people, especially these SMEs, small major state businesses, when you interview them, you see that by the time somebody starts a little business today, before 3 months, 1 year at most, he's closing because he's not able to cope with all of it. I think it will not be out of place. If the government, the governor can sit down as soon as he fully open all his book and check everything, he can sit down and say, this group of businesses, this group of SMEs, I want to grant you tax holiday for so number of years. There should be some product, like I mentioned just now, agricultural product can enjoy tax-free status. The governor can say so to attract people to do that even more. When agricultural products are coming from a farm, let them enjoy tax-free status. So if the governor is able to do that and also give little attention to the roads that lead to all these rural areas, that would be very fine.
Okay, you said so much at the opening brief, but it's actually good we set the standard. I was actually going to the whole taxation, but definitely I think we might still have to talk about it later on. Now let's look at some of the MOUs or agreements that was reached with the past administration that could not really come into fruition before they left office. Talking about the Gelegele Seaport that was supposed to be revamped, talking about the Benin Industrial Park located at Taple Road, which nobody seemed to have seen the light of the day with the previous administration. In your own words, do you think that the current administration should toe the same line in order to, because these are the things that drives economic activities in a state and in a nation, because everybody seems to have relied on the Apapa port alone in Nigeria in terms of bringing in goods from foreign countries into Nigeria. Don't you think if that port is given the necessary attention and that industrial parks that there was an MOUs and so much signing and all of that was done, don't you think this also will also serve as part of boost to the economic growth of the state?
Okay, thank you very much. For the issue of, let me start with the issue of Gelegele Seaport that was proposed by the previous administration. I want to say that the immediate past administration actually sought this in a very robust manner. Because not it actually not at, you won't actually find many state governments trying to propose massive projects like that. But now I also want to look at what is the reason, what could have been the reason, because we understand that since the proposal was made by the past administration, the speed towards actualizing it wasn't very high. And can we be allowed to start thinking, to look at what could have been the setbacks? For me personally, I want to think that it is issue of politics, political affiliation, kind of, because you understand that the federal government has a full control over ports, approvals, and all that. And now that we have a sitting governor who obviously belongs to the same political party with the federal government, I want to believe that the Gelegele Seaport project is going to be much more easier for the government to, for the state government to approach, the state government led by Senator Monday. So I think if we are able to approach the Gelegele Seaport project, it is going to make Edo another big city, another big state in Nigeria. Because the truth is that all over the country, what is hampering our economy, what is killing the economy of Nigeria, apart from that, we have tried to create business activities just in one center. We have failed to open up other areas. We want the whole population to go to Lagos or go to Abuja. That has been the issue. The government doesn't want to spread this investment. And this is the investment we talk about. It cuts across different areas. And port happens to be one strong part that controls so many parts of the economy. So if we have other ports across the country, it's going to help our economy. But to discuss specifically as related to Edo, I think the Gelegele project is something we can actually work towards to do. But I would not, personally, I would not expect the governor, His Excellency Monday Okpebholo, to just start by investing all the money. Gelegele Seaport having explored benefits that are going to be open to Edo, it can function, it can work. I also do not expect the new governor to start by pumping resources into it because it's quite a capital intensive project. I think what he needs to do as a governor who also belongs to the APC, the same party of the federal government, I expect him to start doing the lobbying first, to lobby with all the federal agencies and seeing how it can work. Only when he knows that it can work and it's something he can do, like he try to concentrate resources to it, so that it doesn't end up he does not end up wasting the whole resources on something that will not work. But it is something that will work because I see a whole lot of politics behind the issue of ports in Nigeria. The issue of overdependence on Lagos port is not just it's not just an accident. It's something politicians have plenty of sentiment about. So I think if he's able to lobby all the agencies of the federal government to allow that work, that will be fine. The project is capable of changing Edo to become like Lagos.
Okay.
So that's fine. Then the issue of the Edo Industrial Park.
Yeah, the Benin Industrial Park.
Benin Industrial Park, sorry. That's another laudable project which the past administration actually shaped. Like I heard from the new governor that he will not abandon everything that has started before. So he needs to. We expect him to do his best as soon as possible, give all of these research and ensure they are completed because these projects they will be able to do the magic to transform everything.
Okay, so let's now also delve a little bit into, I don't want to call it politics, but two offices in the cabinet that also attract economic development into the state, looking at the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Budget. You know, sometimes when they pick their cabinet, it looks like they are picked from, in terms of a political line. Most of the time, it seems like they don't look into who can really do the job. Someone who is a core economist or someone who studied, who understands the principle of economics to be appointed as the commissioner either for finance or the commissioner for budget and economic planning of the state. In your take as an economist that you are, those two offices, which are also key offices to attract investment into a state economically, do you feel it should be political or it should be based on someone who have the rudiment of economics, someone who have the rudiment of economic development in order to handle those two key offices, because they are very crucial to every economic administration?
Okay, thank you very much. Um, I think like the announcement from the um, Excellency 2 days ago, we talked about the appointment of the new Commissioner of Justice. Um, it sent a message, but I hope the governor is able to continue with that. That actually sent a message that he's probably ready to allow people to function where they can, where they are prepared to. Uh, but I just hope you can see the way the news was actually welcomed by many Edo people because it's like something many people didn't expect, and the God allowing the square peg to be the square hole. I expect that the governor will make the process courage to do that across the cabinet, especially like you mentioned the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, uh, very strategic, whether it is going to combine both into a ministry or going to separate them, but it should be somebody who is qualified, who is trained, not a compensation for a political supporter, not a compensation for those who are seated. You see, that is what that was the problem we had at the beginning of this the current federal government administration, allowing certain positions to go for a form of compensation, which wasn't easy. I expect His Excellency Senator Monday Pueblo to sit down to the governor of Edo State and say, yes, actually, I want to succeed. I want to make brilliant impact. So therefore, people who know the job should. Nobody is saying that the governor must know everything. No governor has actually known everything to start with everything. The governor will not do everything and work in every ministry. He's allowing the people who are actually qualified, who are trained to do particular job, to do their job. That is what made the governor succeed. That's what will make the administration succeed. So, issue of finance, I think a professional should be appointed to man the ministry, the Ministry of Budget, Economy, all of that. I think not just appointing this person. It's all about after appointing them, you should also be courageous enough. I expect the governor to be courageous enough to not only to appoint these professionals, appoint them and give them the free hand to work. Because when these persons come on board, they are definitely not going to work in ways that will make the politicians in the administration to be very happy. When professionals come into the cabinet, it's not going to view things the way the politicians in the cabinet view, especially as it regards the economy of the state. The governor, therefore, who must, it should be expected, we expect that you have the boldness to give free hand to these persons to work as area of budget and where you want the state to be. The issue of, finance actually controls everything. It is money you need to work, and the money needs to be available. So only experts, professionals know the best way to create it and also ensure that the money that is made is used for what it is meant for. So it is not a great saying, expecting that the governor should appoint a professional, and not only for area of um, finance and economy. The issue of tax revenue generation through taxation
The
should
IGROs of the
also be
state
done.
and
Yes,
appointing the right
should
person
also
in the board.
yes, it should also be done professionally. Look at it. His Excellency Monday Okpebholo should know that as he started his administration today, a time will come when he will look back and say, did I actually achieve this or not?
Okay.
Irrespective of the time. It's not, Osumba was once governor of Edo State.
Yeah.
He didn't spend 4 years.
In less than
But that does
a
not
year
remove
and
the
some
fact
months.
that yes, but that does not remove the fact that he wanted as a governor. So what he
Absolutely.
did within those time, they are still on the assessment table of posterity to
Yeah.
view from today and tomorrow. So whether it's one day, whether it's 4 years, whether it's 8 years, Monday Okpebholo should know that the governor now, all the persons who have opened their gullet to pack money, all of that around, because there are always politicians who are ready to do so. So
Absolutely.
if their names are not going to be mentioned tomorrow. It
Okay.
is the name of Monday Okpebholo that is going to be mentioned. So the only way he can succeed is to say, because what the governor is going to do, the federal allocation is just there and it hardly increases.
Yeah.
So when it comes, how much can he do? Nothing really. So it is the IGR, internally generated revenue, that is going to help the government to achieve so much. Now, if you leave the IGR in the hands of the quack, in the hands of people who are looking for money to pass into their pocket and start celebrating billions in 3 days,
Yeah.
then the government will. So I expect His Excellency Modi Okpebholo to realize this and give the hand to professionals, people who have a track record in that area, people who he trusts that be able to help him generate revenue and account for sales and
Okay.
ensure that the revenue they are tracked where they are used judiciously, and to also ensure that in the process of collecting it, economy is applied because
All right.
there are
Okay, but we are pressed for time now. We need to be rounding up. But before we go, there's this very pressing one that the viewers talks about. That is unionism in the market. You know, anybody selling anything in the marketplace, if you don't join a union, you cannot sell. And this is also part of the reasons why it looks as if most of the food commodities in the market are on the high side in terms of prices and all that. So do you, as an economist you are, do you feel that there should be a more organized system in every market, whether on the street? Because the small, you can't take it away that the small businesses drives every economy of whether a state or a nation. And also illegal ticketing, though we heard that he has placed a ban in terms of ticketing and collection, that was on Tuesday or so, or Wednesday. So in terms of that whole idea of people saying unionism in the market is a big problem, what would really be your own advice in terms of taming this whole unionism? Because if you don't join a union, you cannot sell sachet water. You don't join a union, you cannot sell even little as it is as ugu leaf in the market.
well, the truth is that my brother, any like I always say, any governor that is going to do well
Yeah.
but we end up having issues with strong cabals, strong association, evil unions. They are always ready to fight the government when the government is trying to do the right thing. But that shouldn't deter His Excellency. I expect His Excellency to first, because Edo is now one of the states with the highest cost of living all
Yeah.
over the country.
True.
And that is because of the activities of union. We understand that no market will be perfect, but we try as much as possible to remove the imperfections in the market to ensure that the prices are fully controlled by the forces of demand and supply, up to tomatoes and onions. So all of these things should be allowed to be controlled by all those forces of demand and supply. The issue of unionism will come, they fix the price, and everybody must comply, all of that. At the end of the day, you find out that the outside, even when we complain for the cost of transportation and all of that, an average person in Edo, we still understand that outside the cost of transportation and all of that costs that are incurred by these businesses, that it is still considerable, it is still good, it is still possible to sell most of the products in cheaper prices. But unfortunately, the unions will not allow that to happen. Persons who ordinarily do not have what it takes to attract customers, they want to sell the same thing with others and therefore use the activities of union, use the shadow of union to force others to come to the same pricing system with them so that everybody, every seller in the market will have the same share, which is not fair, which is the highest of imperfection any market can have. So I expect His Excellency to come in and first scrap the activities of unions in the market I think he should consult professionals on how to do this, go into the market. Uh, he needs to be advised on how to do this. If not totally embracing unionity in the market, but at least their activities should be bring down to become very low, so much that juniors should not at any time determine how much a product should be sold. It is unheard of. If you look at it, not only even the consumables we talk about. The past 2 3 weeks, we have been grappling with issues of this tipper driver stuff, whatever.
Yeah, tipper drivers and the Borough Pit
Yes,
Owners Association.
borough pit owners. The
Yeah.
borough pit owners are coming to say this is how much tipper drivers must pay for price. No, the borough pit owners are not the same. They are not. They are different persons.
Yeah.
Why is it that one person will sit down in those states and not decide how much everybody must pay for a piece of land all over the city? So even if the borough pit is close to my house, so you mean because the union has fixed the price, it means the same thing God I'm going to do. So it is highly unreasonable. And that is what is happening in our market. All to the essence of buying fishes, tomatoes, onions in the market. The artists of union have changed everything. Edo has suddenly become a state with, I think it's almost number one or second, with the highest cost of living in Nigeria. And that is not fair. I think His Excellency should first come into this. And, but I do not subscribe to interfacing with these union members because in the past, government always invites them, yes, government interfacing with them. It never comes to see the light of the day. It doesn't. So the government must be decisive on this issue of unionism. It must be decisive to come out. And it is not the military did it before. It is not impossible for the government to actually fix price. It is not. The government should have model businessmen and women in every market. Yes, model that to be able to advise the government, this is how much we said. I want that price he said. Nobody must say anything
Above
about that.
the
There are
price.
persons who, yes, yes, all the people selling tomatoes in those states, in all the markets in Benin. I can tell you that the government will have 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 women among those selling tomatoes to say these persons are selling at moderate price. They have done the mathematics and said this is how much you pay. And the government will be able to say, okay, we are adding certain percentage, one certain margin to it. Outside this is the price ceiling. Nobody should sell above this. So if the governor comes out to say so, the government says so, no union will come up to say, oh, you must sell this, you must not sell. So I think one step to take, the first step to just take, to help people to be able to cope with the cost of living in those states is to, do you know that, my brother, do you know that I have this bottle of water.
Okay.
In some states, it's still sold at cheaper price. There are some places where you buy this thing in Benin City. Somebody is telling you 400
For 500 or 400. I bought for 500 somewhere.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. There are places in Nigeria where this thing is sold for 200.
Absolutely true.
We need. That is because
we need to start wrapping up now because we're pressed for time.
But please, I can quickly add that outside all of these things we have discussed,
yeah,
I would expect the governor to also look at the issue of fees that are paid in public schools and those things.
Okay.
Especially the tertiary institutions.
All right. And yes. I think we will draft a topic to that effect for another discussion, which definitely you will be the guest for us to talk about that, because we're really pressed for time right now. We need to go. I really want to thank you and appreciate you for your time and robust discussion and conversation on the show this afternoon. Thank you very much, Jimmy Oku, for joining me.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's how far we can go on the show this beautiful afternoon. It's been a great time talking about agenda setting, economic agenda setting for the new government of Edo State. On behalf of my entire team, a great team behind cameras, making sure everything went well and the program was a success, we thank you for your time. God willing, I'll be back again next week on the show. I'm Lawrence Osifo saying see you again. Bye for now.